So I'm depressed, slightly stressed, and casual formally dressed to distract myself from feeling like a failure at everything. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so I was wanting to make this video last week and then I didn't, so we're making it this week. My dad made me my first email address when I was, I want to say 5 or 6. Now, I didn't do much with this. It could be a way for my relatives to send me a photo or register for Neopets, that's kind of it. But anyway, so I would normally get like maybe an email from my friend when they got their first email address, or some like pictures from my grandparents, or talking about when we're all going to meet up in a family reunion that everyone would be put onto, even though I had nothing to do with the decision making. And then I'd also get some emails from my grandmother. Now, this is not from my alive grandmother, my mom's mom. This is from my dad's mom. She was an interesting person. She was very kind and had like this southern hospitality, even though she was, I think, born in Iowa. She had some like interpersonal issues because she was adopted, because her birth mother couldn't afford to feed her. She grew up during the Great Depression and like wanted me to be what she wanted to be, so she constantly gave me like Shirley Temple VHSs. Now that was all good and fine, but when I got an email address, my grandmother started doing something more. She started emailing me interesting things. Now, she would send me like the normal stuff, like, oh, your Uncle Kevin was up on the roof fixing some tiling and he fell off and broke his ribs. How are you? My grandma did not ever talk like that. Or some pictures of something that she found online, or some pictures of things that Grandpa had created. And then she'd also send me urban legend chain mail. Now, I didn't learn about Snopes until like 2007, 2008, which, if you don't know, is a website where you can go to find if something is true or not. In their archives, they have stuff like, does Coca-Cola give you cancer? And like in their modern day stuff, it's like, did Donald Trump actually say that? And it was definitely not things you should be sending to someone in between the ages of 5 and 10. So I wanted to read some of them for you. So the problem is, Comcast kind of purged all the emails pre-2010, so I don't have the emails from my grandmother anymore. My grandmother died either 2011 or 2012, so she wasn't really emailing anymore. She was just a miserable person. She's in a better place now, blah blah blah, heaven. So what I did instead is looked up all of the things that she sent me on Snopes, and so I'm going to read it from there, but we're going to pretend that I am reading it from an old email account. Begin! Now, some of these I'm not 100% sure if she sent me them or if it was a different version. There are two that I'm absolutely fucking sure she sent me, and that I believed for a little bit. We'll get to those eventually. 9 tips written by a cop. A list of safety tips offers effective counters to being victimized in random violent crimes. This one is a mixture of true and false. Everyone should take 5 minutes to read this. It may save your life or a loved one's life. Tip from Taekwondo. The elbow is the strongest point of the body. If you are close enough to use it, do. Learn this from a tourist guide in New Orleans. If a robber asks for your wallet and or purse, do not hand it to him. Toss it away from you. Chances are that he is more interested in your wallet and or purse than you, and he will go for the wallet or purse. Run like mad in the other direction. If you're ever thrown into the trunk of a car, kick out the back taillight and stick your arm out of the hole and start waving like crazy. The driver won't see you, but everyone else will. This has saved lives. There was an article about a woman who busted out of the trunk when she was being kidnapped, and that specific tip was brought up, and I learned that when I was like 7. I don't know if it works or not. The lady just pulled the internal hatchback opener. But yeah, a few notes about getting into your car in a parking lot or parking garage. Be aware, look around you, look into your car at the passenger side floor and in the back seat. If you're parked next to a big van, enter your car from the passenger door. Most serial killers attack victims by pulling them into their vans while women are attempting to get into their cars. That's not very probable in my small car. Always take the elevator instead of the stairs. Stairwells are horrible places to be alone in perfect crime spot. This is especially true at night. I can agree with stairwells being horrible places. Another safety point. Someone just told me her friend heard a crying baby on her porch the night before last, and she called the police because it was late and she thought it was weird. So this one continues into a different email that she definitely sent me. I'm pretty sure she sent me this. I am absolutely fucking certain she sent me this next one, which is basically a continuation of the first one. Crying baby serial killer victim lure. Pretty sure she sent me this when I was 9. This is false, by the way. Completely false. Friend heard a crying baby on her porch at night. Blah blah blah. Police were called. Do not open the door. The lady then said that the baby had crawled near a window and she was worried that it would crawl into the street and get run over. The police said, we already have a unit on the way. Whatever you do, do not open the door. He told her that they think the serial killer has a baby's cry recorded and uses to coax women out of their homes thinking that someone dropped off their baby. That's a fun thing to send to a child, Grandma. If you can hear this up in heaven. First of all, I'm never alone at night. There are 3 other people in my house, and that has been true my entire life because I'm the youngest. My dad never let me open the door, even if I knew who was going to be behind it until age, 10. And I sleep like a fucking rock. So I would never hear any of that. But thanks, Grandma. Flashing headlights gang initiation. Prospective new gang members are being initiated by killing the drivers of cars who flash their headlights at them. Please don't flash your headlights at any of the cars with no headlights on. Police officers are working with the DARE program and has issued this warning. The DARE program is drugs abuse resistance education. It has fuck nothing to do with murder. Do not flash your headlights up at them. This is a common Bloods gang member initiation game. The new gang member drives along with no headlights on, and the first car to flash their headlights at them is now his target. He is now required to turn around and chase that car, then shoot and kill the individual in the vehicle in order to complete his initiation. That one's also not true. Obviously. Are carjackers leaving flyers and $100 bills on car windows? You walk across the parking lot, unlock your car, and get inside. Then you lock all your doors, start the engine, and shift into reverse. Habit. You look into the rearview window. I look into the rearview mirror. I should stop doing that. To back out of your parking space, and you notice a piece of paper. Some sort of advertisement stuck to your rear window, so you shift into park, unlock your doors, and jump out of your vehicle to remove that paper, or whatever it is, that is obstructing your view. When you reach the back of your car, that is when the carjackers jump out of nowhere, jump into your car, and take off. Your engine was running, your purse is in the car, and they practically mow you down as they speed off in your car. Anyway, this is totally great advice for someone who's not going to have a driver's license for the next 9 years. Anthrax mailings. About the possibility of anthrax being used in terrorist attacks. Anthrax is an acute infectious disease caused by the spore-forming bacterium Bacillus anthracis. Sure. There's no copy of the email thread on here, but basically it was talking about manila envelopes containing anthrax. Thanks for teaching me about infectious diseases, Grandma. Killer in the backseat. A crazed killer is discovered hiding in the backseat of a woman's car at the gas station. This one and the one about your car from the 9 tips by a cop is something that I do, kind of, especially when I would be at my old job. I would have to walk a couple blocks at night to get to where I parked. So I have the app Noonlight, which used to be SafeTrek, which they gave us at McNally. And then I would also check all around my car. Normally there was no one else in the parking garage at the time that I leave, but still. A friend stopped at the pump gas station to get gas. Once she filled her gas tank and after paying at the pump she started to leave, the voice of the attendant inside came over the speaker. He told her that something happened with her car and that she needed to come inside to pay. The lady was confused because the transaction showed complete and approved. She relayed that to him and was getting ready to leave, but the attendant once again urged her to come in to pay or there'd be trouble. She proceeded to go inside and start arguing with the attendant about his threat. He told her to calm down and listen carefully. He said that while she was pumping gas, a guy slipped into the back seat of her car on the other side, and the attendant had already called the police. She became frightened and looked out in time to see her car door open and the guy slip out. The report is that the new gang initiation thing is to bring back a woman and or her car. One way they are doing this is crawling under the women's cars while they're pumping gas or at grocery stores in the nighttime. The other way is slipping into unattended cars and kidnapping women. And then it tells you always lock your car doors even if you're gone for a second. Check all around and under and on top of your car. Yay. This is one that I know for fucking sure she sent me, and I believed this and did this for like 2 days until I decided, nuh-uh, not anymore. I was 7. The correct way of eating fruit. We all think eating fruits just means buying fruits, cutting it, and popping it into our mouths. It's not that easy. It's important to know how and when to eat. What is the correct way of eating fruits? It means not eating fruit after your meals. Fruit should be eaten on an empty stomach. If you eat your fruit like that, it will play a major role to detoxify your system, supplying you with a great deal of energy for weight loss and the other activities. Fruit is the most important food. Let's just say you eat 2 slices of bread and then a slice of fruit. The slice of fruit is ready to go straight through the stomach into the intestines, but is prevented from doing so. That's not how the stomach works at all. In the meantime, the whole meal rots and ferments and turns into acid. Not how acid works. The minute the fruit comes into contact with the food in the stomach and digestive juices, the entire mass of foods begins to spoil. Not how spoilage works. So please eat your fruits on an empty stomach or before meals. You have heard people complaining, every time I eat watermelon I burp. When I eat durian, my stomach bloats up. Don't eat durian. Durian smells like absolute shit. My mom picked up a durian flavored cookie at a meeting, and yeah. Blah blah blah, this will be great. So I believed that for a little bit. Anyway, she sent me a ton of these over the years. It was either something about there's a murderer, might not even be in my area, might be in Florida, which isn't true, about a scam, about like some sort of poison in foods, like the Halloween candy false stuff, which is fake. People don't do that really. Most of that is just people put stuff in candy and take pictures of it. And one time when it was true, it was the father poisoning his daughter. I think there was something about a divorce in there. According to my dad, my grandma meant well, but was just so easily receptive to internet hoaxes. So that's what I went through when I was just learning about the internet, and most of my time was spent on Neopets and using Microsoft Paint and Google image search. I hope you enjoyed this and this little insight into whatever the fuck my grandma was on about. If you had your family send you these stupid chainmails in the early to mid-aughts, tell me some of the best ones down below. Please like and subscribe, it's easy, it's just 2 clicks, thank you. And that's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys next time.